Hey, yesterday I posted about the importance of essentially having diversity in your lead gen. You've got a hedge. So essentially, you might have one primary lead gen channel for most agencies, by the way. That's referrals. But at some point, something's going to happen, and that's not going to be as good as it once was. Something's going to change. So you need to hedge. So you need to have maybe there's cold outreach is your hedge against referrals falling apart. And then maybe you need something to hedge against cold outreach falling apart. So maybe that's content or ads or whatever. So you have to have this series of hedges to allow yourself to feel comfortable that you are going to be able to create a reasonable, predictable way of creating ongoing leads. But there's a second issue there. And this is something that is tough to hear in the marketing community, but the thing that makes direct response marketing, like, for instance, direct outreach, the thing that makes that work is not just the access you get by jumping into someone's inbox, but the thing that makes it work is the brand that you represent. And this is so hard for us to grasp that outreach on its own does democratize awareness in some respect, but it does not democratize action. So anybody can get into anyone's inbox, right? That's democracy of access. But it really is only the action that we're after. So you need to augment your direct outreach with some sort of brand focus, with some sort of brand content, with some sort of value or some sort of values or some sort of interest or some sort of thing that will make your offer attractive. Because when you are coming in to an email box or a LinkedIn box or to a text message or whatever it may be, and you don't carry with you any sort of context, honestly, you don't have a whole lot of power. And so what you need to do as a marketer, as a direct response marketer who is trying to solicit business via direct response channels like cold outreach and or LinkedIn and or whatever, all of that stuff, you need to support with messaging that lives outside of those channels. And so that's other people talking about you. That's creating content on your own. That is driving the opportunity, driving the security of an established and present brand that makes it safe for somebody to respond. Because when you jump in complete without context, you are not safe. And so it is the presence of brand that makes your direct response work. If you were to think about why webinars and infomercials work, it's because they take that half an hour to build some brand presence. At the very beginning of an infomercial or a webinar, you are not saying, hey, take my money. It's only after they've drawn you in and bring you to the place where it's okay to ask. So when you are doing outreach and you're asking for time or attention, it is not safe to give you time or attention without the presence of brand. Now, by brand does not mean that you must have a great logo or the most unbeatable website or anything, but brand means you have to have a point of view that can be expressed and understood by somebody without having to talk to you. So the real hedge for direct response, cold outreach and the like, is content, brand, point of view, visibility. All of those things make you safer to respond to. And that's why, for a really limited time, we've put together our GTM OS, go-to-market operating system for agencies, together with Gen Plus, which is our content mining, repurposing driven, together with Gen Plus, which is our team driven content marketing engine. It really is like your social authority engine. For a very short period of time, we've put those two things together. So basically, if you buy GTM OS, you get Gen Plus for free. And that's a $7,500 value. We've done that not because we want to have a sale. We've done that because it matters. So putting those two things together solves both parts of the equation. You are facilitating the growth of your visibility, right? Through the outreach from GTM OS. But you're also maximizing the authority and the efficacy of that outreach by creating real brand promise and presence through Gen Plus. So even though those are two separate programs, I've put them together because that's what you need in order to make your outreach work really well, is you need the brand. And so we're putting those together, like really for a very limited amount of time, because I want you to be able to grab the power of systematized, very creative, very authentic outreach and mix it and mash it with the power that your team has in the content that they create, imagine, and discover every day. When we put those things together, growth is almost unavoidable.